For us, it is an honor to have you around here. Our wish is that the secrets of the sages of ancient India, taught by the renowned yogi Sadhguru, be a powerful tool of self-transformation in your inner journey. Get to know our yoga course by clicking on the link that is in the description of this video and learn more.
Ladies, it's time for some truth. Society has long painted a picture that women should be delicate, agreeable and soft to be accepted. But let me tell you this, being soft in the face of challenges will not help you achieve your dreams, command respect or live the life you deserve. It's time to rise, reclaim your power and stop letting life push you around. Being strong doesn't mean being harsh or losing your kindness. It means standing your ground, speaking up and knowing your worth. It's about being resilient when life tests you, being assertive when people underestimate you, and being unapologetic about your ambitions. Too often we prioritize pleasing others over prioritizing ourselves. We let fear, doubt and comfort zones hold us back. That ends today. You were not born to play small, you were born to lead, to break barriers and to live boldly. Knowing your worth is the foundation of confidence, strength and self-respect. It means recognizing that you are valuable, capable and deserving of everything you desire, whether it's respect, love, success or happiness. Too many times women compromise their standards, settle for less or accept treatment that diminishes their self-esteem. Why? Because they've been conditioned to believe that asking for more is selfish or that standing up for themselves is too much. But let me tell you, knowing your worth is not arrogance, it's self-awareness. When you truly know your worth, you stop chasing people who don't value you and you stop tolerating environments that drain you. You begin to walk away from relationships, jobs and friendships that undermine your potential. It's about standing tall when someone tries to disrespect you, speaking up when your efforts go unnoticed, and never letting anyone's opinion define your self-image. Knowing your worth also means setting boundaries without guilt. It's understanding that you are not responsible for pleasing everyone, and it's okay to say no when something doesn't serve your growth. When you embrace your worth, you start making decisions that align with your goals, not decisions based on fear of rejection or judgment. It's about the choices you make every day. Are you choosing comfort over growth? Are you allowing people to take advantage of your kindness? Or are you stepping into your power, demanding respect and knowing that you deserve nothing but the best? Women who know their worth don't settle, they rise. They invest in themselves, whether that's through education, self-care or chasing their dreams unapologetically. They surround themselves with people who uplift them, and most importantly, they believe in their capabilities even when the world tries to convince them otherwise. Your worth is not determined by your past mistakes, your relationship status, your job title or anyone's opinion of you. It's inherent. You don't have to earn it, it's already yours. The question is, will you claim it? Will you live like someone who knows she deserves the best that life has to offer? Because the moment you do, everything begins to change. Opportunities appear, people treat you differently. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open, not because the world changed, but because you did. And that's the power of knowing your worth. It transforms not just how you see yourself, but how the world responds to you. Expanded key point 2, speak up and be heard is one of the most powerful things you can do to claim your space in the world. Far too often, women hold back their thoughts, opinions and ideas out of fear of being judged, misunderstood or labeled as too aggressive or too emotional. But staying silent doesn't protect you, it diminishes you. Every time you silence yourself to make others comfortable, you send a message to yourself and to the world that your voice doesn't matter. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Your voice matters, your perspective matters, your experiences matter. Speaking up isn't just about raising your voice in conversations, it's about standing firm in your beliefs, advocating for yourself, and ensuring you are respected in every room you enter. Think about how many opportunities are missed because someone was too afraid to share an idea. Or how many injustices go unchallenged because people stay quiet. How many times have you walked away from a conversation thinking, I should have said something? That regret of staying silent lingers far longer than the temporary discomfort of speaking up. And it's not just about big moments or public speeches, it's in everyday situations. It's telling a friend when they've crossed a boundary. It's voicing your opinion in a meeting instead of nodding along. It's speaking out against disrespect, even when it's subtle. Because if you don't advocate for yourself, who will? People will treat you based on what you tolerate. If you constantly downplay your ideas or let others talk over you, they'll believe your input is invaluable. But when you speak up consistently and confidently, people begin to listen and respect follows. Speaking up doesn't mean you have to be loud or confrontational, it's about being assertive, not aggressive. It's about communicating clearly, with confidence, and without apologizing for having a voice. How many times do we hear women start sentences with, I'm sorry, but this might be a silly idea, but… Stop that. You have nothing to apologize for when expressing yourself. Own your words, remove the disclaimers. Be direct, be clear. When you speak, do it with the belief that what you say is worth hearing, because it is. And yes, it can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to asserting yourself. You might worry about being disliked or upsetting someone. But remember this, your goal isn't to please everyone, it's to respect yourself. Some people might not like it when you start speaking up, especially if they benefited from your silence. Let them be uncomfortable. That's not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is to yourself, to honor your voice and use it as a tool of power it is. The ability to speak up is not just for personal gain, it's how you influence change. It's how you inspire others who are still finding their courage. When you speak up, you give others permission to do the same. You become a leader, whether you realize it or not. Your voice can challenge injustice, spark innovation and open doors, not just for you, but for those who come after you. So the next time you feel that hesitation, the lump in your throat, the quickening heartbeat, pause and ask yourself, what's more important, my temporary discomfort or my long-term self-respect? Speak up for the promotion you deserve. Speak up when you're being mistreated. Speak up when you have an idea that could make a difference. Your voice is your power. Use it. One of the greatest acts of self-liberation is learning to stop people-pleasing. For too long, women have been conditioned to prioritize everyone else's happiness above their own, to be agreeable, accommodating and self-sacrificing, even at the expense of their own well-being. We say yes when we want to say no. We take on responsibilities we don't have the energy for, and we swallow our feelings just to keep the peace. But at what cost? Constantly pleasing others drains your energy, clouds your identity, and leaves you feeling resentful and exhausted. It's time to stop sacrificing your happiness for the comfort of others. Your life is not a charity for everyone else's needs. People-pleasing often stems from the fear of rejection or the need for validation. You might worry that if you set boundaries or say no, people will think you're selfish or rude. But let me ask you this, what's truly selfish? Taking care of your own needs or expecting someone to constantly give while neglecting themselves? Saying no is not rude. Setting boundaries is not cruel. In fact, it's one of the most respectful things you can do for yourself and for others. When you say yes to things you don't want to do, you're not being kind, you're being dishonest. Authenticity matters more than approval. Understand this, you are not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. If someone gets upset because you finally decided to prioritize yourself, that's their issue to deal with, not yours. People who truly respect you will understand. Those who don't were only benefiting from your lack of boundaries. Stop sacrificing your mental peace just to avoid temporary discomfort. You weren't put on this earth to be everyone's doormat. Being nice should not come at the expense of being true to yourself. Think about how much time you wasted doing things you didn't want to do just to avoid disappointing someone. How many events have you attended, favors have you done, or conversations have you tolerated purely to please others? Now imagine what you could do with all that time and energy if you directed it toward your goals, your passions, your own joy. People-pleasing steals your focus and dilutes your purpose. You can't build the life you want if you're constantly living for everyone else's expectations. And let's be clear, there's a difference between being kind and being a people-pleaser. Kindness comes from a place of generosity. People-pleasing comes from a place of fear. Kindness is giving when you want to, not when you feel obligated to. You don't have to bend over backward to prove your worth. You don't have to exhaust yourself trying to be liked. Your value isn't determined by how much you can do for others. The right people will appreciate you for who you are, not what you can give them. It's okay to say, no, I can't help with that right now. It's okay to say, I need time for myself. It's okay to disappoint people if it means honoring your own needs. You are allowed to put yourself first. You should put yourself first. That's not selfish, that's survival. When you prioritize your well-being, you become stronger, happier, and more capable of giving to others from a place of abundance, not depletion. So stop seeking validation from people who wouldn't cross the street for you. Stop bending to fit into spaces where you're not appreciated. Stand up for yourself, speak your truth, and trust that the right people will respect your boundary. And if they don't, that's their problem, not yours. Your peace, your happiness, your goals, they come first. Challenges are a part of life. There's no escaping them. You will be tested, you will face setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles that seem insurmountable. But here's the truth, running from challenges only makes them bigger. Avoiding hardship doesn't protect you, it weakens you. The only way to grow, evolve, and achieve the life you want is to face your challenges head-on. No shortcuts, no easy way out. Just you, your determination, and the willingness to confront whatever stands in your way. Too many people spend their lives dodging difficulties, hoping that if they ignore them long enough, they'll just disappear. But life doesn't work that way. The problems you avoid today will be the same ones staring you down tomorrow, only stronger. Whether it's a toxic relationship you refuse to address, a dream you keep postponing because you're scared of failing, or a personal flaw you don't want to confront, avoiding it won't fix it. Action does. Courage does. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort, and the longer you hide from it, the longer you stay stuck. Facing challenges head-on isn't about being fearless. Fear is natural. It's part of being human. But strength comes from moving forward despite the fear. Every successful person you admire has felt fear, doubt, and uncertainty. The difference? They didn't let it stop them. They chose to face their challenges because they understood that the cost of avoiding them was far greater than the discomfort of confronting them. What about you? Are you willing to endure temporary discomfort for long-term growth, or will you let fear dictate your future? And let's be honest, challenges are supposed to be hard. That's what makes overcoming them so powerful. When you push through adversity, you don't just solve a problem, you build resilience. You develop grit, resourcefulness, and an unshakable belief in yourself. Every time you face a challenge, you're proving to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. You're showing yourself that you can handle hard things. That's how confidence is built, not through easy wins, but through battles fought and lessons learned. Consider this. How many times have you looked back at something you once thought was impossible, only to realize you survived it? You got through heartbreak, financial struggles, failures, and disappointments, and you're still standing. If you handle those challenges What makes you think you can't handle what's in front of you now? Give yourself credit for your resilience. You've overcome more than you give yourself credit for. And you'll overcome this too. Facing challenges head-on also means taking responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. But blaming won't move you forward. Ownership will. When you stop making excuses and start focusing on solutions, you reclaim your power. Life isn't always fair, and you won't always be dealt the best hand, but you do control how you respond. Will you let challenges define you, or will you rise above them? You have a choice. And don't wait for the perfect time to face your challenges. There is no perfect time. Waiting for the stars to align or for fear to disappear is just another form of procrastination. Do it scared, do it uncertain, do it imperfectly, but do it. You don't need to have all the answers to take the first step. The path becomes clearer when you start walking it. Hesitation won't get you closer to your goals, action will. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better, not those who enable your avoidance. Seek advice, get support, but ultimately you have to do the work. No one is coming to save you. No one can fight your battles for you. This is your life, and you have to be the one to step up. The sooner you face what's challenging you, the sooner you can move past it and get to the other side, where strength, growth, and success are waiting. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to evolve into the strongest, most capable version of yourself, you must be willing to step outside of what feels safe and familiar. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. It's a sign that you're pushing your limits, challenging yourself, and stepping into new territory where real transformation happens. Yet, so many people avoid discomfort at all costs. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and routines that no longer serve them simply because it's easier to stay the same than to face the unknown. But what's the cost of that comfort? Stagnation, regret, wasted potential. Discomfort shows up in many forms. The fear before a big decision, the awkwardness of learning something new, the vulnerability of trying and failing. And let's be honest, none of it feels good in the moment. It's uncomfortable to speak up when you're used to staying silent. It's uncomfortable to wake up early and push yourself in the gym when you'd rather sleep in. It's uncomfortable to walk away from people or situations that no longer align with your growth. But every time you choose discomfort over complacency, you're making a powerful statement. I value my growth more than my temporary comfort. Ask yourself, what opportunities have you missed because you didn't want to feel uncomfortable? How many dreams have you put on hold because the process seemed too hard? Maybe you avoided applying for that job because you feared rejection, or skipped that networking event because it felt awkward, or delayed starting your business because you didn't want to face the learning curve. The truth is, waiting for things to feel easy or comfortable is just another way of holding yourself back. Growth isn't supposed to feel easy, it's supposed to challenge you. That's how you know it's working. Think about a muscle. It only grows when it's put under stress, stretched beyond its usual limits. Your mind and spirit work the same way. The more you challenge yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, the stronger you become. Discomfort isn't a sign to stop. It's a signal that you're on the right path. You cannot become someone you've never been by doing what you've always done. Change requires effort. Effort requires discomfort. And let's not forget, comfort zones are deceiving. They feel safe, but they're often cages disguised as sanctuaries. Staying comfortable might protect you from fear or failure, but it also protects you from success, adventure, and the fulfillment that comes from pushing your boundaries. Do you really want to look back on your life and realize you played it safe at the expense of your potential? Or do you want to look back and know you went for it, even when it scared you, even when it was hard? Embracing discomfort also builds resilience. The more you expose yourself to challenging situations, the less intimidating they become. What once felt overwhelming starts to feel manageable. That fear of public speaking, it fades after enough practice. That anxiety about taking risks, it lessens each time you step into the unknown and survive. Discomfort loses its power when you face it repeatedly. You become someone who doesn't flinch in the face of challenges, someone who thrives under pressure. But here's the thing, discomfort is temporary. Growth, on the other hand, is lasting. The difficult conversation might make your heart race for 5 minutes, but the clarity and respect you gain from it can last a lifetime. That grueling workout might hurt for an hour, but the strength you build will carry you through every part of your life. That fear of starting something new might linger for a week, but the skills and confidence you gain will stay with you forever. Temporary discomfort for permanent growth. It's a trade worth making every single time. So stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Stop hoping things will magically get easier. Lean into the discomfort, let it stretch you, let it challenge you, let it teach you what you're capable of. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a stronger, braver, more powerful version of yourself. A version that only emerges when you choose growth over ease, courage over comfort. Life is unpredictable. It will throw curveballs, test your patience, challenge your limits, and push you to your breaking point. In those moments, what separates people who crumble from those who rise is mental toughness. Mental toughness is the inner strength that keeps you going when everything in you wants to quit. It's the resilience to keep pushing through setbacks, the discipline to stay consistent when motivation fades, and the grit to stand tall when life tries to knock you down. Without it, every obstacle becomes an excuse. With it, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone. Building mental toughness isn't about pretending to be invincible or suppressing your emotions. It's about facing reality head-on, acknowledging the struggle and choosing to push forward anyway. It's that voice in your head that says, "I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway." Mental toughness is forged in the moments when you're tired, frustrated and tempted to give up, but you keep going. It's built when you get rejected but try again, when you fail but stand back up, when you hear no but still believe in your yes. How do you respond when things don't go your way? That's the real test. It's easy to be positive when life is smooth, but what about when nothing seems to work? Do you complain and quit, or do you regroup and push forward? Mentally tough people don't waste energy blaming others or wishing things were easier. They focus on what they can control, their attitude, their effort, their response. Because let's face it, life isn't always fair, challenges are inevitable, disappointments will come. But you always have the power to control how you react. Mental toughness is also about discipline. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes. But discipline? Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. It's waking up early to work on your goals when you'd rather sleep in. It's choosing healthy habits when temptation calls. It's staying committed to your plan even when progress feels slow. Anyone can start strong, but how many people finish? Mental toughness is what gets you to the finish line. It's what separates wishful thinking from real achievement. And here's the thing, mental toughness is developed, not given. No one is born with an iron will. It's something you build through consistent effort and intentional choices. You build it by doing hard things on purpose. By challenging yourself regularly, you train your mind to handle stress and pressure. Push yourself in small ways every day. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Finish that workout when you want to quit. Speak up in situations where you'd normally stay silent. These seemingly small acts add up, strengthening your mental resilience over time. Mentally tough people also know how to manage their emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings. It means not letting temporary emotions dictate long-term decisions. There will be days you feel discouraged, angry or overwhelmed. But those feelings don't have to control your actions. Feel them, acknowledge them, and then refocus on your goals. Emotional control is power. The world will test your patience. People will try to provoke you, and setbacks will challenge your resolve. How you handle those moments defines you. And let's not ignore the role of self-talk in mental toughness. The way you speak to yourself matters. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt and negativity, you'll crumble under pressure. But if you feed your mind with empowering thoughts, "I've got this. One more step. I won't quit now," you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Be your own biggest supporter, not your harshest critic. Mental toughness also involves being adaptable. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and the ability to pivot without falling apart is crucial. Flexibility isn't weakness, it's survival. Things will change, plans will fail, but mentally tough people don't dwell on what went wrong. They ask, "What's next? How do I adjust?" Adaptability keeps you moving forward when rigid thinking would leave you stuck. And remember, mental toughness isn't just for moments of crisis, it's for everyday challenges, the deadlines, the conflicts, the self-doubt, the daily grind. It's the foundation that allows you to stay consistent with your goals, maintain healthy relationships, and handle life's chaos without losing yourself. It's about becoming someone who doesn't fold under pressure but thrives in it. Someone who can weather any storm and come out stronger on the other side. You don't build this toughness by staying comfortable. You build it by doing the hard things, facing the tough days, and refusing to let setbacks define you. Life will challenge you. Will you rise to meet it?
There comes a time when you have to stop biting your tongue, suppressing your opinions, and letting others walk all over you. Speaking up for yourself is not just about words, it's about standing in your power. It's about acknowledging that your thoughts, feelings, and boundaries are just as important as anyone else's. Too many people stay silent to avoid conflict, keep the peace, or prevent others from feeling uncomfortable. But what about your discomfort? What about the peace you sacrifice by swallowing your truth? Staying quiet might feel easier in the moment, but over time, it breeds resentment toward others for taking advantage and toward yourself for allowing it. How many times have you walked away from a conversation wishing you had spoken up? How many situations have you tolerated just to avoid making waves? Let me be clear, your silence won't protect you from being disrespected. In fact, silence often invites disrespect because people assume you're okay with being treated poorly. Speaking up is how you teach people how to treat you. If you don't respect your boundaries, no one else will. And speaking up doesn't mean being rude or confrontational, it means being assertive. There's a massive difference between aggression and assertiveness. Aggression is about overpowering others. Assertiveness is about standing firm in your truth without diminishing anyone else's. It's saying, "This doesn't work for me," or "I disagree," or "Please don't speak to me that way," with calm confidence. Assertiveness isn't just a communication skill, it's an act of self-respect. When you advocate for yourself, you reinforce the belief that your needs and opinions matter. What stops most people from speaking up? Fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of being misunderstood. But consider this, staying silent doesn't eliminate those fears, it confirms them. Every time you hold back, you reinforce the belief that your voice isn't worth hearing. The only way to overcome that fear is to use your voice. Yes, your heart might race the first few times. Yes, some people might not like what you have to say. But people's discomfort with your boundaries is their issue, not yours. You are not responsible for managing everyone else's feelings at the expense of your own. Speaking up also means advocating for your goals and dreams. How many opportunities have you missed because you didn't ask for what you wanted? That promotion, that collaboration, that chance to be heard. It doesn't just fall into your lap. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't believe in your value enough to speak up, why should anyone else? Stop waiting for people to notice you. Stop hoping someone will read your mind. Be direct, be clear, ask for what you need, demand what you deserve. And let's not forget that speaking up extends to your personal relationships. How often do you let things slide just to keep things smooth? You ignore the disrespectful comment, the crossed boundary, the unequal effort, telling yourself it's not a big deal. But it is a big deal. Every time you let something slide that bothers you, you teach people that mistreating you has no consequences. Respect is non-negotiable. If someone's words or actions hurt you, say something. If you're being overlooked, stand up and make yourself seen. Your peace of mind is worth the temporary discomfort of speaking your truth. And no, not everyone will like it when you start speaking up. Some people benefit from your silence. They like it when you don't challenge them, when you go along with things, when you minimize yourself for their convenience. But you weren't put on this earth to make yourself small for other people's comfort. The right people, the people who respect and value you, will appreciate your honesty. The ones who don't, they were only comfortable with you when you were easy to control. That's not a loss, it's clarity. Speaking up also means defending yourself when you're being criticized unfairly or underestimated. Stop letting people talk down to you. Stop allowing others to define your worth. If someone tries to belittle your accomplishments, correct them. If someone spreads false information about you, clarify the truth. You are not obligated to absorb negativity in silence. Protect your name, your reputation, and your energy. You don't have to fight every battle, but you do have to stand up for yourself when it matters. And remember, using your voice isn't just for major confrontations. It's about everyday interactions too. Speaking up is asking for clarification when you don't understand something instead of pretending you do. It's requesting what you need instead of hoping someone will magically figure it out. It's being honest about your feelings rather than bottling them up. It's choosing authenticity over appeasement. The more you speak up, the easier it becomes. Confidence builds through action, not overthinking. Will there be times when you fumble your words or feel nervous? Absolutely. But don't let that stop you. Progress, not perfection. Messy honesty is better than polished silence. Your voice is a tool. Use it to advocate, protect, and empower yourself. Because when you start speaking up, you send a message to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you are not someone to be ignored, dismissed, or overlooked. In a world full of distractions, opinions, and countless paths pulling you in different directions, one thing separates those who achieve greatness from those who stay stuck in mediocrity: relentless focus on their goals. It's easy to talk about dreams, make vision boards, and get excited about new plans, but excitement fades. Motivation comes and goes. What lasts is your commitment, your ability to keep your eyes on the prize, block out the noise, and push forward no matter what. That's what turns goals into reality. Why do so many people fail to reach their goals? It's not because they aren't capable, it's because they get distracted. Life throws challenges, temptations, and endless opportunities to procrastinate. Social media pulls you in, other people's opinions sway you, and comfort zones tempt you to stay where it's easy. But comfort never leads to greatness. Every minute spent distracted is a minute stolen from your future self. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you need tunnel vision, laser focus. The kind of focus that makes people question how you stay so dedicated. The kind that turns "I wish" into "I did." Focusing on your goals means making sacrifices. You can't do everything. You can't scroll endlessly, party every weekend, or say yes to every invitation and expect to reach your goals. Success requires trade-offs. It's choosing early mornings over extra sleep, workouts over laziness, studying over binge watching. It's saying no to what's convenient so you can say yes to what's important. Most people aren't willing to make those sacrifices. That's why most people settle. But you're not most people. If you want to stand out, you need to outwork, outfocus, and outlast the crowd. And let's be real, the journey to your goals will test you. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and moments when quitting feels easier. You'll face criticism, some of it from people close to you. Why are you working so hard? Why don't you just relax? People won't understand your grind, and that's okay, they don't need to. Your goals aren't up for debate. Stop explaining yourself to people who aren't on your path. Not everyone will get it, but the right people will respect it. Protect your energy from negativity and doubt. Staying focused also means being clear about why you started. On the hard days, and there will be many, your why is what pulls you through. Is it to provide a better life for your family? To prove to yourself that you can? To break cycles of mediocrity and create something extraordinary? Hold on to that why, write it down, repeat it to yourself when things get tough. Because motivation fades, but purpose sustains you. Your why is your fuel. Don't let it run dry. And don't get caught up in the trap of comparing your journey to others. Comparison is a thief of focus. Social media will show you people winning while you're still grinding, but remember, most people only show their highlights, not their struggles. Stay in your lane, run your race. Progress isn't always visible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Seeds grow underground long before you see the sprout. Trust your process, celebrate small wins along the way. They're proof you're moving forward. Part of relentless focus is consistency. Not just working hard when you feel like it, but showing up every single day. Discipline over mood. Effort over excuses. Consistency compounds. Miss one day and it's easy to justify missing two. Miss a week and you've lost momentum. Successful people aren't necessarily more talented, they're just more consistent. They do the work even when it's boring, hard, or inconvenient. Are you willing to do what's necessary even when it's not exciting? That's the difference between wishing and winning. Also, eliminate distractions ruthlessly. If something isn't helping you reach your goals, ask yourself why you're giving it your time. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Spend it wisely. Unfollow accounts that drain your focus. Limit time with people who constantly distract or discourage you. Turn off notifications. Create boundaries. And make your environment goal-oriented. Success isn't accidental, it's intentional. Every choice you make is either moving you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. Which direction are you choosing? And remember, time is passing whether you use it wisely or not. 1 year from now, you'll wish you had started today. So why wait? Every moment you hesitate, someone else is out there grinding, getting ahead, and building the life they want. Don't let excuses steal your potential. Don't let temporary comfort sabotage long-term success. Focus. Lock in, stay relentless. This is your journey, your dream, your responsibility. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to hand you success. It's on you. So set your goals, guard your focus like your future depends on it, because it does, and push forward with everything you've got.